We just started getting out of the police station.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Everything okay? Are you guys good?
I think so. We filled out a bunch of affidavits. They're not deporting or anything. It just ended up being, I mean, they get complicated when you get them involved, because then you have to like fill out forms to show that both sides don't want to press charges or get lawyers and shit. It's pretty complicated here. But it was just a lot of paperwork, fingerprints, you know, affidavit bullshit. But I think it's fine. But it took hours. Like, they kept moving us to different police locations. It's pretty crazy.
Okay. All right. Well, at least you're both good. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Have you guys made up yet?
We're talking, you know.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
I mean, I don't feel like the last few days was, like, I understand where she's coming from, but I don't feel like it was me in the wrong, and I've kind of made that known, and she's apologized, so
That's
you
good.
know, we're talking it out.
I can't wait to get back to the spa, dude, at the hotel. Only take 5 hours to get back to the hotel from here. I'm surprised they even have cell service out here, bro, I'm be honest with you. I'm just gonna take it all in. Just take it all in, baby. It's beautiful.
You gave them a relationship therapy, and the next day they're filing for a divorce. Nice going, Dr. Ice Poseidon. They might call you in court.
I gave them advice to save their marriage. They didn't listen. That's on them. It's like they wanted to get a divorce because they just didn't listen to any of the advice I said. After arguing and slapping each other, they should have said, "I love you" to each other to end it on a positive note. And then they, you know, would have been able to listen to each other's complaints and issues. But they didn't say it. They just kept arguing, all negatives, no positives. So of course, you know, it's not my fault. I mean, I just said, you guys are married. You got to work as a team. They're not working as a team. How's that my fault? It is what it is. I mean, I'm glad I didn't get arrested. I thought they were going to get arrested, bro. They're lucky. Yeah, fucking old. But not as old as you, Nana.
You helped them out by exposing NickLee's financial abuse. Your therapy will help her a lot in court.
Well, they both have problems, okay? It's not, I mean, they both have extreme issues, but if they just real good right now, it'll fix it.
Last time I came here, I did not take this route. I took a way easier route.
This is,
Hey,
what
Ice,
is your
it's
route?
Jason. Just want to say,
like a lot
enjoying
of
the streams
routes you can
lately
take.
and enjoying Nick Leach's downfall and failed marriage even more. I own Nick Leach CX.
Oh, damn, bro. They're lucky they didn't get arrested by the cops. Arguing with the police in a third world country, bad idea. Lying and saying you're not streaming when you are, even worse idea. He was live streaming in the police station. Very sketchy, because if they would have caught him after and then lied, they could have really him. So he got very lucky. Imagine NickLee stuck in Peru for 6 months waiting a court date. That would be ridiculous. One dude's just stuck in Cusco for 6 months. I mean, he just smokes cigars though, so he could do that. Oh, he could do that anywhere. It won't change anything, but I guess he'd run out of cigars eventually, and then he's.
La parte baja es la ciudadela donde personas han vivido entre 400 o 500 aproximadamente.
That's beautiful, dude.
Down there, the city down people live between 400 to 500 people, more or less. Officially, since 1950s, people came from all of the world. Oficialmente, a partir del año 1950, vinieron personas de todo el mundo.
I feel like I've been very accommodating in the past. You know, I mean, certainly since the robbery, I think extra amount since like in the last couple months. And I've come to the conclusion that it doesn't work to have two people jointly wearing the pants. That is retarded. Like, it's not going to be that way. And so I was pretty firm, and I said, one of two things. We can get a divorce, you can do everything yourself, and then we just go our separate ways, I'm okay with that. Like, I haven't been okay with that for a while because I love her, but like, I know the lay of the land, and I know that it's a bad deal for me. Like, it sounds to say, but it's like, I know what I'm doing, right? Like, me running around with $50 million, I'll make it back up to the level it's at in no time. I mean, not actually no time, but like, you know, give it 6 years, we're back to 100 million pretty easily. Okay? I would love to see her do the same thing. I would love to see her just not lose it all in that time. But I saw no reason to compromise. I've always been very much willing to accommodate people, and that is still unchanged. What I told her was, you can ask me to do something, and if you look at historically, even if it's an unreasonable ask, I do it if it's something you really want. But like the other day, she started getting over her skis. Like, do you remember the night after the Danino therapy thing? She was like, when are you getting off? And I was like, oh, what are we gonna do? And then she goes, what? I just want my husband to spend time with me. I shouldn't have to ask. See, that's the that I'm not okay with anymore. You shouldn't have to ask. No, ask. If I don't do it when you ask, you have a right to be upset, potentially. If you don't even ask and you just want me to guess it, bro, this ain't Build a Husband workshop. Okay, I'm retarded. I need you to tell me what you want. And I understand the mitigating factor is that, and I hate to use this as a cop-out again and again and again, but the mitigating factor is the fact that after the break-in, she's been kind of a different person. She's way more sensitive emotionally, and I understand that. A lot of things will trigger her now, and she's just, in general, more sensitive and like more susceptible to certain things, such as conspiracy theory stuff. I don't know what it is about your brain chemistry that changes when you go through something traumatic. I'm very sympathetic, but like, she milks it a little too much. Like earlier when she said, this is my trigger, I was like, how the do I know that emptying out a suitcase is your trigger or a luggage? What? I'm playing that game, bro. I'm not playing that game. And I told her, look, right now, I want to stream. I want to be a streamer. And I'm going to put my effort into that. And you can tell me when you want me to spend time with you, and I'm going to do that. Right? But I ain't ever going to fucking sit there and automatically need to know that you would rather me not be streaming. You tell me. Okay? We're going to put streaming as a priority in our life, alongside other priorities. That means she's going to have to understand when I do things for content. Paul clearly has leeway to do like minor, kind of jaunty stuff, or at least talk to females. And I'm tired of not being able to do that. That's crazy. Like, that makes me a dud in nightlife streams. I can only talk to dudes. No, like, I just told her, like, nothing is going to change in terms of how I feel about you or our relationship, but I'm not going to sit around and share the pants. That's fucking retarded. Each person has a leg in the pantaloons. What are we doing? That makes no sense. One person wears the pants, right? The other person gets their, lifestyle vision, prioritized and realized first. And it's been very unfair because we've jointly worn the pants, but like in the back of our minds, it's always been like, she's gonna get her ranch, and she's almost gonna get her ranch. Like, we're gonna go tour it real soon, right? And that represents a lifestyle shift. I wanted to be on the beach. She wants to be in the mountains with thousands of acres, right? I know, first world problems. But like, I've always acceded to her preference because I know something, which is that I don't want to be on the beach as bad as she wants to be on her own piece of secluded, refuge, right? Like, she wants to be in her own element, in her own domain. And so it's very unfair that like I'm working towards that goal just as she is, and I have been for years and years and years. Okay? And then lately, because Paul is interviewing her or giving us therapy, she's sitting there insinuating that I didn't earn the money. I at least earned half. And I bet I can make a case for earning way more than half. I know most influencers watching this are going to be like, oh, whatever, because they're thinking of it from they're the influencer and their manager didn't do more than half or even half. But this ain't that situation. Kate didn't have money to buy a laptop. when I met her. She had a negative net worth. I had a $400,000 house on my 9 to 5, 3,500 square foot house. That's our starter home. Big yard, American dream. When she moved in, her dad wouldn't let her move in unless we got married. And so I said, you know what, that's fine. I don't want you to not have contact with your parents or to elope. So we're just gonna get married. That's the reason why we have a prenup. Because I had all the assets. She had nothing. I was assuming implied debt. Bought her laptop, you know, helped her run her Instagram from the point of 2,400 followers onward to 5.5 million. Every post was me. Every tweet was me. Every TikTok, every YouTube video, me. Hello world, I'm Amouranth. I'm kidding about that last part. I'm kidding about that last part. But no, it really was me. And she is the image of it, and so that's why she's definitely half of it. But like, she's half of the Amouranth thing. A big chunk of our wealth, 30+ million, is from investments. That's me. That's 100% me, right? So I've earned more than half the money, but I get it. Half and half is fair. But like, I'm tired of playing this charades of dually wearing the pants. Because, and I don't mean to be insulting in any way, because this is actually great quality, but she still maintains many childlike qualities, and it's just not conducive to the level and sprawl of the things that we own and managing those things. But you know what? Maybe that sounds controlling, and maybe I sound like a jackass. And so I told her, you take your half. We can get a divorce. You can run your own half. I don't give a f. Just you do it. Right? And she blinked. She blinked. We won. Because maybe you could make an argument that when she was streaming, she did more. I don't think that's plausible. But maybe you could make that argument. Today, you cannot make that argument. She barely streams. I run all the finances. I do the taxes. I do the investments. I do like due diligence when I go on site, shareholder meetings, whatever. I stream that. Every time, you know, Kate Twitter DM'd an Asmongold or whoever, also me. Hello, Asmongold. Hello, Aiden Ross. You know, I already have met Paul Danino now. It's been me the whole time. You're talking to me. Now, granted, what it would be I would be holding the iPad and I'd go up to her and say, hey, you know, Asmongold says this, response. And then I'd filter it through, you know, my vocabulary filter, right? And then boom, that's an Amouranth reply. I typed it though, but I dictated what she said. Don't get me wrong, I love my wife, and that's the reason why I'm staying with her. Not only is she the most beautiful person I've ever been with, like physically, right? But I love her, like there's an attachment there. And I could, you know, we can go into depth, right? And she probably won't think it's romantic, but like the reason why is because in my life, I value continuity so much, too much. I just like people who I've known and gotten to know, and people who understand me on a level that I don't have to explain myself. And, you know, she's been the person I've, for over 11, going to 12 years, spent the most time with. I mean, we worked side by side. Like, you know, it's like we've been married 24 years. Because most couples, they both have like a day job or something, and so they're gone 9 to 5 and they reconnect. They see each other in the morning, they see each other at night, 5 days a week, right? I saw her basically, I was basically within 40 feet of her for the last 12 years, 24/7. I understand that people aren't perfect and partnerships aren't perfect. Marriages aren't perfect. I want to make it work, but I put my foot down today and I said, here's how it's gonna work. Okay? I'm going to keep you informed, but I'm gonna make the decision. And if you're not okay with it, we can, down the middle. Fuck Peru.
Stone sent $3, so what are you changing to make the relationship work? Because something's gonna have to give.
I'm not going to yield on that. it was a slippery slope where I kept yielding because, like, so she likes to say, oh, I broke our agreement to not do X, Y, Z, but she breaks, you know, agreements of what I said not to do all the time. All the time. Thank you for the sub.
Lon just subscribed.
And I didn't really call her out on it because I just wanted to keep the peace. Because when I started streaming, in the back of my mind, I enjoyed it a lot, and I thought I was doing a pretty decent job. And, you know, we got a lot of flowers from a lot of people, and that was great. It seemed like we had good momentum, and I just wanted the momentum to continue, and so I let a lot of behaviors slide that I used to not. And I know she's more sensitive from the robbery, and I'm trying to, you know, take that into consideration. But there are some hard lines in the sand that I'm not willing to let, you know, her cross any longer. And so I'm committed to her, but, like, she has to understand that, like, I have boundaries. The driving force of us needing to continue making money is absolutely her. She just told the story in a way that I don't blame Paul for interpreting it the way he did. You know?
Anonymous sent $3. You mentioned not being afraid of dying. But doesn't you dying affect others that care about you or depend on you?
Absolutely.
Anonymous sent $3. Let's be real. She doesn't love you. She shows zero affection for you. She's tied to you by marriage, but she does not love you. Zero romance in your relationship.
That's not true, but that's not true. It's just that I keep trying to tell her this, and it's a very hard point to digest. And then someone remind me to go back to the not afraid of dying point. But, like, you're saying she doesn't love me. No, we do love each other. The problem is both of us keep giving the other person what we would want, you know, from someone we love. She's giving me what she would want. I'm giving her what I would want, and we're missing the mark. Because she wants something different than what I want, and I want something different than what she wants. And so we're supposed to be giving the other person what they need, not what we would ourselves want.
You actually yelled at her and went insane. And today you went crazy for getting the laptop. What you got to hide, you piece of shit? I hope one day she decide to leave you.
I think you're misunderstanding it. I don't have anything to hide on the laptop. She will admit to herself, you know, when next time, you know, I talk to her on stream, you know, which I'm going to try and keep minimized, she will tell you herself that she tried to change my stream key so I couldn't stream. So to answer your question, she was going on my kick to change my stream key so I couldn't go live. She'll tell you that herself. Because I asked her, why did you do that? Like it's weird. Like, I was kind of afraid, because I'm retarded, that, I don't know, maybe she just fills my bio with, like, the N-word and I get banned. I don't know. But she was trying to change my stream key. I'm telling you, I mean, look, she'll get on stream and to corroborate this. Same with the 2022. Ooh, ice cream. Yeah, so I'm not hiding anything on that laptop. If you want to know, for real, that laptop, even though it costs $5,000, is like the laptop I hadn't used in months. Because it was always meant to be a streaming laptop, but I had no reason to stream on a laptop. This trip is the first time in like 3 to 6 months, I can't really remember, where I've actually used that computer. Hence why I had to install and download everything. There's nothing on that computer. Well, I'm broke. I need the money. So I'm streaming full-time now. It's hard living on $600K of passive income a month. It's hard. You just don't understand my trials and tribulations. Who's gonna do it? You? You think you could do that?